April 28th, 2011. This is today's climate change update. Nothing really new out of Fukushima, Japan today. I saw one video earlier of Leak Spinner talking about the fuel containment pools in nuclear reactor number 4 was pretty much confirmed leaking. And if I find anything else, of course, I'll attach the videos and below. But what I've got for you today, off of Scott.net, storms knock out TVA Nuclear units and power lines. Houston, severe storms and tornadoes moving through the U.S. Southeast dealt a severe blow to the Tennessee Valley Authority on Wednesday, causing 3 nuclear reactors in Alabama to shut and knocking out 11 high-voltage power lines, the utility and regulators said. The governors of Alabama, Arkansas, and Tennessee each declared a state of emergency as more than 20 deaths were blamed on reoccurring round of severe storms this week, moving eastward across the southern United States. This is an ongoing situation. So more, what's that, that's 2 in a week. Tornadoes rock Alabama, Georgia, one of the largest tornado outbreaks in history. And they've got, looks like a tweet roll on here. Update, 7:52 p.m. Pacific Standard. Associated Press report moves death toll to at least 64. 130 tornadoes and counting. And a story, massive mile-wide tornado hits Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Just devastating. A massive tornado judged to be almost a mile wide struck Tuscaloosa late Wednesday afternoon. ABC meteorologist James Spann says the storm has caused major damage in some areas of the city, and Mayor Walt Maddox told the Weather Channel that parts of the city were obliterated. Viewers shocked at dead sea life along the Gulf of Mexico coast. It's been a little more than a year since the Gulf oil spill, but signs are still showing. Karen Johnson paid a visit to some beaches in Mississippi, and she was shocked at what she saw. She said she saw all types of dead sea life, everything from dolphins, fish, turtles near the shoreline. She says some of the creatures were rotting and have been there for days. She wants to know what's in the water, so do we all, and hope someone tests the water soon so people are aware of what they are swimming in. Yes, they are still swimming down in the Gulf of Mexico, fishing down in the Mexico, and selling you products out of the Gulf of Mexico. And there's another story, mile-wide wedge tornado going through downtown Birmingham, Alabama. They have a video attached. More severe storms to hit North Georgia Wednesday night. That's pretty much as I'm recording this video. And these are just the storms, just continue. Here's a pretty crazy story. King crabs invade Antarctica. It's like the scene out of a sci-fi movie. Thousands, possibly millions of king crabs are marching through icy deep sea waters and up the Antarctic slope. They're coming from the deep, somewhere between 6,000 and 9,000 feet down, says James McClintock, Ph.D., University of Alabama at Birmingham, endowed professor of polar and marine biology. Wow, that's a title. Shell-crushing crabs haven't been in Antarctica's Earth's southernmost continent for hundreds or thousands, if not millions of years, McClintock said. They have trouble regulating magnesium ions in their body fluids and get kind of drunk in low temperatures. But something has changed, and these crustaceans are poised to move by the droves up the slopes and into this shelf that surrounds Antarctica. McClintock and other marine researchers interested in the continent are sounding alarms because the vulnerable ecosystem could be wiped out, he said. I see a big king crab industry popping up in Antarctica. And then they've got the volcanoes from yesterday. Over to the extinction protocol. They've got a story. Mother Nature strikes back. Nuclear power plants offline by the tornado's second incident in a week. And they're still preaching the safety of nuclear energy, for Christ's sake. They're talking about in our legislative right now, here in Iowa, about building another nuclear power plant here. And thankfully they don't really have the money to do it. They can talk all they want, and they're going to try to put that cost over on the consumer, of course. Thousands of dead fish wash up along New York shores. Mariah, New York. Crews are cleaning up the thousands of dead fish that have washed up along Lake Champlain's New York shoreline, including a stretch where public campgrounds and beaches are being prepared for opening this spring. Lakeside residents in Vermont began reporting thousands of dead alewives showing up along the shore earlier this month. Vermont fishery biologists say alewives are a species not native to the lake, are sensitive to frigid temperatures, and likely died off during winters. And apparently the cleanup's causing a delay in the opening of the campground. Economy, you know. Tornado doomsday, 127 twisters dropped from the skies, 64 dead reported. And again, this is, excuse me, I'll let the cat in. Well, come on. Well, come on. Ah, princess. Sorry. Tornado doomsday, 127 twisters dropped from the skies, 64 dead. And again, this is more stories out of the Tuscaloosa, Alabama crisis going on right now. They just got smacked with a major tornado, and they have a video. 45 more tornadoes, latest outbreak. Death toll climbs to 11. That was an earlier story, obviously, and that one was out of Memphis, Tennessee. Remember the Alamo. Firefighters converge in Texas to save the Republic from wildfires. Austin. Firefighters from 43 states are now locked in a race to keep the state of Texas from going up in flames. Strewn across the state are thousands of gas and oil wells. It's a combustible situation if fires encroach on hydrocarbon projects. As Texas continues to deal with one of the worst wildfire situations in its history. A return of sizzling heat, gusty winds, and bone-dry conditions is renewing an extreme threat for the spread and development of new fires. And of course, they're talking it's already burned over 1.5 million acres. And that's about all they have new today. Over to the watchers. Heavy rain in central United States. No kidding. And expert panel, central U.S. faces real threat of quake. And again, this is a story coming out because you're having the big New Madrid fault line earthquake drills, at least the kids are, and the college students, along with a lot of your government agencies. FEMA, of course, they're putting everybody up and running them around. So be on the alert for FEMA if you're living in the New Madrid fault area. Study links ozone hole to climate change all the way to the equator. Now this is a study done by a bunch of global warming, carbon scam scientists talking about the hole in the ozone layer that was discovered in the 80s and how it's affected the weather in the southern hemisphere over the last 30 years or so. And my point is I've just I was reading reports not too long ago about a 70% depletion in the ozone in the Arctic, which is the northern hemisphere, and how this study could be an answer or a way to think about what's going so crazy here in the northern hemisphere as of late, as if all the radiation and everything else, it's just insane, isn't it? Well, they've got a story on fast-growing sunspot 1199. New sunspot 1199 is growing rapidly in the sun's northern hemisphere, ballooning in the area by more than a factor of 5 during the last 24 hours. If the expansion continues, of course, it'll be able to produce big CMEs, blah, blah, blah. And we're all kind of keeping an eye on that as well. Over to the RSOE. Of course, we have the tornadoes in Alabama, the volcano in Ecuador, the severe weather and flooding in Colombia, Brazil, Canada, the volcano activity in Tal, Philippines. We got flooding reports out of Tennessee, extreme weather in Birstall, England. Now here's a crazy story for you. Now, England and northern Europe they're in this big heat wave drought. Well, Birstall, England got 3 inches of snow and hail in this freak storm, and that's pretty crazy as far as something weird's going on. They got this really freak hailstorm with snow involved, and they're saying it was up to golf ball size hail. Tornadoes in Alabama, flooding in Illinois, and extreme weather out of Portage, Michigan. And again, this is a big system rolling through the central United States. Pretty much an ongoing situation. But that is just about it for me today. Of course, if I missed anything, please let me know or attach your videos below. I hope you had a really good day. I did. And until I see you next time, enjoy it while you can, everybody. Thanks.